What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ty with the GoPro strapped to my head, and this is the revived from the dead 2027 Chevrolet Bolt. And in this video, we're going to take a quick features walk around, and then we'll get it out on a test drive to test it out, and we'll see what it drives like, since it does have a fully new powertrain and battery setup. But as far as the features walk around, let's go real quick on the outside of the vehicle, where we can see new headlights. This particular one is pretty loaded up. It's an RS, so the sportier trim gives you the blacked out accents, black wheels, you know, kind of glossy black in the front, down the sides, and a little bit in the back, and your blacked out Chevy emblems too. You can see we have the front camera thanks to the technology package. We also have the panoramic sunroof thanks to that option. We have 17-inch wheels wrapped in 215 tires, 215/50 rather. And take a look at this. We have an NACS charging port. Very cool. Black roof rails, we have blind spot warning in the mirrors, we have smart key entry. Not a whole lot going on with the window sticker because this is a very early production 2027 Bolt, but I can tell you this has a sticker price of $36,645. The taillights are new and relocated too. The previous Bolt had kind of taillights in the bumper, which was kind of strange, but they are relocated in more of a normal taillight unit. In the back here, we have a rear view camera mirror, as well as your reverse camera, and a pretty good amount of space underneath this hatchback. As you can see, plenty of room, you know, not so much width-wise, but I mean, I should say depth-wise, but width-wise it's pretty good. And below my camera bag, you even have more space, and quite a bit more space too. And just keep in mind, you could fold down those rear seats. Sorry for any glare caused by the sun. This sun has been a very rare sight up here in Connecticut. It's been a pretty rough winter, I can tell you that. Taking a look at the rear of the Bolt, actually a really great amount of space. Panoramic sunroof is nice and big and definitely welcomed on the Bolt. And again, plenty of room back here, more than I was expecting. We have two USB-Cs, an armrest, and nice Evotex leatherette seats with red stitching because this is the RS. Inside, we have a little bit better materials on the driver's door, although it is mostly hard touch except for a rubberized pad right here where you're going to rest your arm. We have your parking brake, lane keep assist, and heated steering wheel off to this side, and nice 10-way powered seats with two-way lumbar included. Let's hop in. I'm going to adjust my camera so you can see a little bit better. We'll take a quick overview of the screens and whatnot, and definitely head out on the road. Okay, so now we're all adjusted for your viewing pleasure. I wanted to detail a couple things in here, namely the nice screen setup going on here. So these two sets of screens are both new, very similar to what you would see in an Equinox EV, where you can adjust to see a map and a couple of other cool gauges. And then this touchscreen too, very easy to use. Lots of Chevrolet products use this. Just keep in mind that any Chevrolet EV will not have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but they do still have Bluetooth and your ability to download apps to the screen, so that's pretty cool. This one has ambient lighting and a full set of climate controls. I love it. Please give us climate controls. We have heated and cooled seats in the front, which is awesome. Wireless charging, some very unique storage solutions in the middle, and the camera mirror, which is very cool. Let's buckle up for safety and use our relocated shifter knob on the steering column to put us down into drive. All right, setting off in the Bolt. Very cool. I remember back in the day when these Bolts first came out in their first generation, like 2017, I believe it was. That was like one of the first Chevrolets that I've ever filmed. So pretty cool. Back in a Bolt 10 years later. unbelievable. But yeah, first setting off in the Bolt, what we're gonna do is we have a nice quiet kind of industrial road here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch us into sport mode. So when the end of this endless curve finally reaches an end, we will punch it and see what the acceleration feels like. Since this is electric and it does have a new powertrain, I am very eager to feel what the acceleration is like. So here we are. Let it get to a stop here, and here we go. All right, we'll slow back down to a normal speed. Yeah, acceleration feels very prompt is the word I could use. We are, again, working with a new battery and a new drivetrain setup, so new drive motor, new battery. It produces 210 horsepower and 169 pound-feet of torque. Everything's fed to the front wheels only, and we have a 65 kilowatt-hour battery pack. And of course, that NACS charging with a maximum charge rate of 150 kilowatts, if you could find that charger. Okay, so we're gonna make our way up this twisty hill here, and see how it does going up quite the little mountain here. I would expect it does quite well. And just driving around for a little bit here, my initial impressions are pretty fair. This is a decently quiet ride. You do get a little bit of tire noise involved, but that's nothing really to scoff at. And it's a very nifty little car, I should say. It's very easy to get around in tight spaces since it is a small vehicle. And again, it does have very swift acceleration. Now that hopefully winter is behind us, it has left some road work that is to be desired, let's say that. So the roads are pretty rough after this winter. And the Bolt seems to have a pretty nice suspension setup, nice and comfortable. The wheels are small, so they're 17-inch wheels, so there's a bit of sidewall there, a little bit of give. And again, suspension seems pretty compliant. The only real complaint I have is just a little bit of road noise, that's all. And we will take it on more of a main road towards the end of our test drive, and we'll see what it's like at at some higher speeds. I have the one pedal drive activated, and it's on the normal setting. There is also a higher setting than that, but I find the normal setting is very easy to modulate. You could kind of easily find that placement in the gas pedal that kind of gets you to slow down very easily. And you also have kind of like the power and the charge meter right in front of you too, to tell you what's going on with the regenerative braking and or one pedal driving versus on throttle. You also have a nice energy usage gauge on the left here, which shows you kind of what's taking percentages of power. So as we can see right now, 86% of the power is being used by driving, and the other 14 is being used by the slight air conditioning that I have going on right now. So that's pretty cool. The steering has just a little bit of feel to it, so it's not completely numb, which is good to have a little bit of steering feel, and the pedals are easy to modulate. If you're using the one pedal drive and not so used to it, the brake pedal can become a little bit intimidating, or a little bit touchy, I should say. But again, it's all something that you can, get used to fairly quickly. For instance, I haven't driven a vehicle with one pedal drive on in quite some time now, and I'm already pretty used to it. I do have to say though, for the first time EV buyer, that can be a little bit weird. staying on the gas pedal and actually slowing down quite a bit is an odd, it's quite the oddity if you're not used to it. This one pedal drive is a true one pedal drive, meaning that it will bring you to a complete stop. And a nice, easy, complete stop, too. No abrupt jerking around or anything like that. As we could see, too, I'm at an 89% charge, and we have 234 estimated miles till we have to recharge again. So that's pretty good in this class of vehicle. You could hear some of the EV noises when you come to a stop. And this is sort of our more main road, so we'll get a brief taste at, you know, what this is like at higher speeds. So yeah, it feels good. It actually feels darty, which is good, which means it, you know, handles quite nicely. You almost get this kind of, dare I say, hot hatchback vibe. The 0 to 60 rating is in the upper 6-second time there, but, you know, we're still in sport mode, and if you punch the throttle, you do get very strong acceleration from that instant torque of the electric motor. And the acceleration can be quite fun at times, so make sure you don't get carried away. I have to say too, the seats are nice and comfy. Having that power lumbar adjustment is very nice, and you know, leaving the lumbar out of it, it is an 8-way adjustable seat, which is very nice. So you can adjust the front portion of the seat as well as the back, you know, the backrest and the back and forth of the base of the seat. So very nice comfort to the seats. The steering wheel feels good in your hands. You have direct access to the audio controls, which are on the back of the steering wheel, which is great. One thing that I find a little bit odd is there's a blank button right here where the heated steering wheel control should have gone, but instead they decided to put it on the left of the dash. So that's a little bit strange, but other than that, I really don't have a whole lot of complaints. Like I said before, just that little thing of slight road noise that you hear and the weird location of the heated steering wheel button. Other than that, I do enjoy driving this Bolt. I think it's a good size for city goers and you know, people who have smaller families. It's got plenty of storage space. You could fold down the rear seats, some hidden storage, and now it's got great technology and improved battery and the entire drivetrain. So I think it's a great vehicle. Getting towards that $37,000 price range that this is at is maybe a little bit much for me, but the new Bolt does start around $27,000, $28,000, and at that price range, this becomes very, very compelling for, you know, a first-time EV buyer, or you know, again, somebody who lives in the city, doesn't need a large vehicle, and that also wants to be you know, conscious of the environment. So I have to say, I'm pretty impressed at this vehicle, and I have to end this video as well. Thank you very much for watching, and at this point in the video, I'm hoping that you'll see the link for our full features review. So if you want to see a video that kind of goes through all the features and whatnot, you can click on that. But again, to end this video, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you stick with us here on Tide Drives for more videos just like this one.